A Tale of Red Riding Hood's Journey. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Rosalind, affectionately known as Red Riding Hood. She was a bright and spirited girl, with fiery red hair that matched her adventurous nature. Rosalind lived with her mother, a kind and gentle woman. Together, they spent their days tending to their modest cottage and exploring the woods that surrounded their home. One crisp autumn morning, Rosalind's grandmother fell ill, and Rosalind knew she had to do something to help. Gathering a basket of freshly baked bread, cheese, and a bottle of healing herbs, she set out on the forest path to her grandmother's house. The woods were ablaze with the colors of fall, with golden leaves crunching beneath Rosalind's feet as she walked. The air was filled with the earthy scent of pine and the distant calls of woodland creatures. Despite the beauty of her surroundings, she was thinking about her grandmother. As she journeyed deeper into the forest, a sense of foreboding hung heavy in the air. Shadows danced among the trees, and strange sounds echoed in the distance. But Rosalind pushed aside her fear, determined to reach her grandmother's side. Suddenly, a voice called out from the shadows, stopping Rosalind in her tracks. "Where are you off to, little girl?" said a gravelly voice, sending shivers down her spine. Rosalind turned to see a tall figure emerging from the trees, his eyes gleaming with a hunger that made her blood run cold. It was the wolf, a fearsome creature rumored to lurk in the depths of the forest. "I'm going to my grandmother's house," Rosalind replied, trying to keep her voice steady despite the fear that clenched at her heart. The wolf grinned wickedly, his sharp teeth glinting in the dappled sunlight. "Ah, your grandmother's house," he said with a sly wink. "Why don't you take the shortcut through the woods? It's much faster, you know." Rosalind hesitated, torn between her desire to reach her grandmother's side and the warning bells ringing in her mind. But something in the wolf's gaze sent a shiver of dread down her spine, and she knew she couldn't trust him. "I'll stick to the path, thank you," Rosalind said firmly, clutching her basket tightly to her chest as she continued on her way. The wolf's laughter followed her, echoing through the trees like a sinister melody. But Rosalind refused to let fear guide her steps, pressing onward with determination burning bright in her heart. Hours passed as Rosalind journeyed through the forest, the shadows growing longer with each passing moment. Finally, she reached her grandmother's house, a cozy cottage nestled among the trees. But as Rosalind stepped inside, her heart sank like a stone. Her grandmother lay pale and still upon the bed, her breathing shallow and labored. Rosalind rushed to her side, tears stinging her eyes as she gently took her grandmother's hand in hers. "I'm here, grandmother," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. "I've brought you food and medicine. Everything will be all right, I promise." For days and nights, Rosalind tended to her grandmother with unwavering love and devotion. She brewed healing potions, cooked nourishing meals, and sang soft lullabies to chase away the shadows that haunted her grandmother's dreams. Slowly but surely, her grandmother's health began to improve, and Rosalind felt a flicker of hope ignite within her soul. But even as she cared for her grandmother, a nagging fear gnawed at the edges of her mind, a fear born from the memory of the wolf's sinister grin. One evening, as Rosalind sat by her grandmother's bedside, a knock sounded at the door, startling her from her thoughts. With a sense of dread knotting her stomach, she rose to answer it, her heart pounding in her chest. To her horror, standing on the doorstep was the wolf, his eyes gleaming with hunger as he leered at her with a twisted grin. "Well, well, well," he growled, his voice dripping with malice. "What do we have here? A little girl all alone in the woods?" Rosalind's blood ran cold as ice, her hands shaking as she clutched the doorknob with trembling fingers. "Go away, wolf," she said, her voice trembling with fear. "You are not welcome here." But the wolf only laughed, his laughter echoing through the night like a dark omen. "Oh, but I am welcome here," he sneered, taking a step closer with every word. "And soon, I'll have you and your grandmother both." Red Riding Hood picked up a long, thick stick. And gave one thrash to Wolf Bum. The wolf started crying, "Oh my God, please help me. Please help me from this little girl, she hit me so hard." The wolf started to cry and begged Red Riding Hood, "Please stop, I will go from here. But don't beat me with this stick." Wolf pleaded with folded hands to Red Riding Hood. "Wolf Bum, get red with the thrashing of stick." And he ran away. As the night wore on, the wolf prowled outside the cottage, his snarls and growls echoing through the darkness like a sinister symphony. But Rosalind refused to cower in fear, standing her ground with courage burning bright in her heart. At long last, the first light of dawn broke over the horizon, casting a golden glow upon the forest like a beacon of hope. And as the sun rose high in the sky, Rosalind knew that she had emerged victorious, her love and courage banishing the darkness that threatened to consume her and her grandmother both. With a grateful smile, she embraced her grandmother, knowing that together, they could overcome any obstacle that lay in their path. Remember that even in the darkest of times, love and courage will always light the way. For as Rosalind learned, True bravery isn't the absence of fear, but the strength to face it head on.